he started explaining to me what the 5K1 meant with him, right?
Okay.
And in that particular sense, what the paperwork that put up, right? He explained to me that it was a situation with Brick, who was a legendary. Brick is one of the original founders of the Street Lords, right? So he explained to me what it was that meant and how it happened, and he told me about something that you can only know if you're familiar with federal law and federal prosecution of criminal cases, right?
In an interview posted on October 29th, 2024 on the Kid L podcast, DawgFace Calderon would discuss the beef between the Street Lords and the Eastside Cheddar Boys, as well as the impact it had on Detroit inside and outside of prison. He would also open up about his semi-controversial interview with the outlaw Jesse James, wherein he would admit that both Jesse James and Brick had cooperated with the federal government for trivial reasons that honestly don't make sense, after months of telling the public that Uncle Jesse James's paperwork was straight.
So it is true that people catch fed cases and people agree to cooperate against each other for lighter sentences. That is absolutely true.
When you say cooperate against each other,
cooperate, like if me and you catch a fed case, they want me to tell on you, and you to tell on me. You would tell me and you say, okay, we facing 20 years, motherfucker. If you tell on me, right, and I tell on you, right, we can finagle our way down to a lesser sentence.
Okay.
So you have people who agree to give. They got us anyway. They have everything they need.
And me and you both know about this. Like, I know you're gonna do it. You know what I'm gonna do, but we're gonna get a reduced sentence.
That happens every day.
So
bro.
that's what his take on it
was, right? He had people who were involved with the whole situation who verified that, in fact, they agreed. Just like what the whole Rollo thing is talking about, but it's different because they all agreed to it. Hey, they were all communicating with each other through their lawyers. Hey, listen, they want you to say X, Y, Z. So they agreed to give information about each other knowingly to get a downward departure.
All right, peace. You already know where you at and who you rocking with, right? Right. So let's get to that thing. Yo, DawgFace's interview on October 29th, I think it was 2024, rubbed me the wrong way. It's a lot that was said within that I don't agree with. It's a lot of filler that was thrown in there, and we're going to go over some of the specifics today, like the fact that he said both Brick and Jesse James cooperated or whatnot, but they didn't cooperate. So they snitched, but they didn't snitch. They told, but they didn't tell. I don't like it when people play with my intelligence, dog. Don't play with our intelligence, dog. We can think. And first, let me start by saying, dig this here, man. For everybody that don't understand the concept of Detroit versus everybody, you know, everybody follows their own as far as that goes. There's no defined definition of it. But for the most part, for the most of us, we support the ones that's supportable. By that, I mean the ones we respect how they moving. We respect what's going on with them. Not just anybody and everybody blurting out they from Detroit, from this side or from that side. Yeah, it's always been a divide of sorts between East and West for whatever reasons that may be, but that's every city you go to. But collectively, as a whole, it's Detroit versus everybody, dog. You feel me? You sat there and let that Calderon dude tell you that basically niggas, you know what I'm saying, your people of your own kind only say that to attach, so you can attach yourself to whatever cause that they want to support them and whatever they're doing and this and that and the other, man. That's cap. That's cap, and you know it to be cap. But when you draw on the narrative, you stick to the narrative, and it seemed like he stuck to yours or you to his in that aspect of it. Shout out to the notes, because you know I got them, dog. When you're doing journalism, you can't pick and choose because it's easy for the audience to see the bias in that. You feel me? If you're going to cover, you're supposed to cover wholeheartedly without a bias, without this or that. And dog, it's just seeming like you biased toward Jesse for whatever reason, homie. You feel me? Juan was right. You yourself saying Juan was right. He got a downward departure. He got a 5K1. You niggas just don't like the fact that he put it out there or something. That's the way I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Play the clip.
So when Jesse James is getting accused of this rat thing, it's basically not really rat. It's pretty much just coming to an agreement with a person.
It's when you expose somebody in the black community for being a snitch, bro, people are going to run with it. They're not going to listen to all the nuances that could have possibly went into why you did, because their whole thing is if you do it, you did it, you did it, you did it. Everybody's scared, bro.
Nah. You called him and spoke for 2 hours and 48 minutes. Let's just say 3 hours. That's what he said in the interview. And he explained to you the 5K1 and what it meant for him. Define that, my nigga. Did it mean something different for Jesse James than it do for everybody else? Because for everybody else, it means that you provided substantial evidence for the prosecution in order for them to prosecute somebody else or whatnot. You feel me? Substantial cooperation or whatnot. So it means something. What you mean for him? So you listen to all the nuances, his words. I like these big words he used. So you listen to all the reasons why he had to do what he did. And that's what you said, right? All the nuances to why he did it. To why he did it. But you still sitting up here fighting the verdict saying, no, he didn't do that. It ain't like that. It's like this. It makes it look like you picking and chooses, man. Say it ain't so. Huh? Anyway, he explained to me that he was in a situation with Brick, an original founding member of the group, the Street Lords. He explained to me what it meant and how it happened, and it's only something that you know if you're familiar with federal prosecution and federal paperwork. What I'd like to know is how familiar you are with federal prosecution and paperwork, DawgFace. I've never been to the feds, but I've read a lot of it because a lot of this people and stuff that I've covered has to do with federal paperwork. So that's not to say either one of us is ignorant, but if you can read and comprehend, and you should be able to understand a lot of the things that is stated within federal paperwork, correct? I'm just saying, man. The nigga from DC talking about he don't know how to read federal paperwork and this and that and the other blase split. Nigga, I can read and comprehend. What are you talking about, nigga? What makes it any fancier than any other paperwork it is out there, dog? You feel me? He said people catch Fed cases and people agree to cooperate against each other for lighter sentences. That is absolutely true. Fuck out of here, homeboy, because somebody at the top of that totem pole. Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it just don't happen like that, dog. Somebody's at the top of that totem pole. You feel me? So what you mean to tell me is that you niggas catch a case and the feds got enough. When the feds come, they got a 98% conviction rate, right? Huh? Okay. So we know that. So the feds grab you as a group and they allow you to tell on one another in order to reduce the sentence that they're going to give you despite the gravity of whatever crime was committed. That's what we saying here. That's what the feds allowed them to do for some reason, huh? But what? Because they Street Lords? I don't get it. Somebody make it make sense if you can, dog. You feel me? If you can. And yeah, he's saying he got people that reference that was there. And listen, I got an email as well from Dawg. I ain't gonna put it across the screen because it's private. But even in the email, he said Jesse James turned down that shit 1,000 times. He breaking them down a bunch of times. Why? Because morally, ethically, in his mind, he knew that that's right. Just like DawgFace do, but he won't say it. He found the very polite way to call it cooperating. You know what I'm saying? He felt a very, very polite way to call cooperating, homeboy. And we'll get to that a little bit later on. But who's the boss? We do know it was Brick's indictment, though. It was Brick's indictment. Jesse could have did 33 months. He said he was facing 33 months. He could have came home. Why would he turn Brick down multiple times? A nigga he knew since he was 8 years old. He knew Brick since Brick was 8 and he was 12, according to Jesse James. That's his right-hand man. He's still posting I love yous to that dude to this day. Why would he turn him down all that time? That's because ethically, like I said before, morally, mentally, he knew what it was. And it's not really no way around it. Despite having to go to a grand jury or testify or witness against somebody, once you write a statement, that's all they need. That's all they need is a statement, homeboy. Niggas used to say back in the day, when they caught cases together, this is what I'm getting at. He said they all told on one another in order to reduce their sentence. That sounds like a plea agreement. I mean, in a plea agreement, you tell on yourself. At least you take responsibility for whatever they charging you with. So that's basically telling on yourself. That's why niggas say if a nigga plea in a case with me and I ain't pled, then he told on me. He said, yeah, we did that and this and that and the other, right? So back in the day, if you and your mans would be, oh man, they got us. If we go to trial for this, they gonna give us this. They offering that. We might as well plea out. You feel me? That's how it used to go. Now you saying niggas just get together and say, okay, well, we're going to tell on each other. When they catch a fair case, we're going to tell on each other. And instead of doing a 20 ball, we're going to all get the 7-piece. Huh? And ain't nobody really telling because we saying to each other, hey, I'm going to tell on you about the stuff they want me to tell on you about. And you tell on me about the stuff. You see how that, I'm just saying, dog. You see how that look? Let's get to this. Kid L says, what do you mean cooperate against each other? He says cooperate like if we catch a case together, they want me to tell on you, they want you to tell on me. We facing 20 years. If we tell on one another, we can work it down into a lesser sentence. Man, that's cap, dog. That's cap. It just sounds like cap, dog. Imagine your co-D coming to you telling you that. That's why Jesse turned them down 1,000 times. I mean, in the end, eventually, he took the side of his friend. You feel me? That's between him and them or whoever want to call it, whatever it is or ain't. But at the end of the day, by definition of downward departure or 5K1, it is what it is, homeboy. It ain't no way around that, dog. They all agreed to tell on each other through communication with each other's lawyers. They gave information about each other knowing that they would receive a downward departure. There go that word again, downward departure. So for everybody that they feel like can't read federal paperwork, them only 2 words you need to look up. Federal downward departure, federal 5K1 motion. You look that up, you'll see all you need to know, man. Then Kid L says, so it's not really ratting. And this nigga DawgFace says this.
So it's not really ratting. It's like a mutual...
It's a mutual exchange of information for the purposes of getting your sentence knocked down. So that's what he explained to me.
That's crazy, dog. That's the politest way to call cooperating, ratting, snitching, shit, whatever. That nigga said it's a mutual exchange of information to get a sentence knocked down. That's what you give the prosecutor. A mutual exchange of information. Listen, man, I'm going to give you this info, and in exchange for this information, you're going to knock my sentence down. A mutual exchange of information in order to get sentenced. That's the politest way to say a nigga snitched I ever heard in my life, man. Jump in the comment box and tell me if you agree or not, man. After that, he gets to this. Matter of fact, before that, let me get to this comment right here, man. Let me get to this comment right here, man. This comment is in DawgFace and Kid L's video. I think it says something like, by memory, they were in prison with Brick, and he was telling in 2004. And somebody behind that said, well, why ain't nobody checking in? Or this and that and other. He ain't never been checked in. And blase splee whoop de whoop. I put that comment up to let y'all know that it's in the air already that Brick has said something. About something. At a very high level. So, I said that to say this. Right after that, DawgFace goes into this rhetoric about how the cartels, the Mexicans, the Hondurans, the Costa Ricans, the Colombians, they all tell on the black end of their business because they don't feel like that is ratting. Stop moving the goalposts, homeboy. So what are you saying? That it's okay for African American, a nigga, to tell on one of them because it's okay for them to tell on us? Because the eye for eye leave everybody blind, man. It ain't no stipulations to the rule no more. I don't know why niggas is even out here calling niggas rats. I'd leave it alone at this point if I were a lot of you because you picking, like I say, Nigga got mad at me for taking a stance on Alpo and saying, yo, he ain't do that shit to me. I don't give a fuck who he did it to. I'ma holler at the nigga and this and that and the other blase split interview, whatever the fuck ever you want to call it. Niggas is mad at me, called me a rat lover and the whole nine and this and that and the other because I took that stance. Other niggas take it politely. Oh, that's why you did it? Oh, okay, that's cool. I mean, shit, Brick ain't here to speak for himself. So we'll never know on that end how deep that ran unless some paperwork actually get pulled. And DawgFace said, I got the paperwork, everything. Jesse James is straight and this and that and other. He didn't tell. But then you jump on Kid L and say he did, politely. You see what I'm saying? I don't like it when men play with my intelligence, dog. You feel me? It's unflattering. Somebody make it make sense, though. You feel me? What else I got? Kid L backs the no snitching street code by speaking about his family and their affiliation to the Calderon Mafia, which is a very real thing on the east side of Detroit and Beirut or whatnot. He said that there was a very strict code of no snitching over there with them as well. So, like I said, man, I don't know. It ain't up for me to decide. It's up for you to decide. But at the end of the day, it just is what it is, man, and you can't make it what it ain't. You feel me? Peace to the 5% nation of gods and earths. Until we meet again. I'll be back.